It's part 2 of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Our hero, Max Rockatansky, is in for big adventures because he has experienced conflict the likes of which he has seen twice before. Will Max be able to shake off his... Will Max be able to slip the naughty dogs of war that plague him? Will he be able to save the innocent? And will he come out of this with a tank full of fuel and a butt full of methane? Find out as Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome continues.
That was the Admiral Akbar remix.
Remix. Smash cut. Exterior desert. Shadow cut to the underworld.
Where Max has taken a job as a shit shoveler in order to closely observe his soon-to-be victim.
Mm-hmm. He's in true infiltration style.
Oh, yeah.
He totally seamlessly blends into the other greased up leather jockeys walking around in his duster and full desert gear outfit, just vaguely shoveling shit around in a circle, depositing it where it goes.
He's really pissing off the foreman because he's just moving it around. The shit's not going where shit goes. The shovel's not shoveling. It's a waste of resources. He's furious that the boss made him hire this guy.
Speaking of the boss, Max glances over his shoulder and he sees across the room his special camel cart, which is a car that can't run. It has no engine, doesn't work, and yet there's a mechanic dressed in nothing but a fruit-by-the-foot loincloth, just wheeling under there. Hey boss, there's 12 dynamite booby traps under this here car. I can't defuse them, boss.
This card is the second conceit of the film. The first is the methane-based energy production. Mm-hmm. The second is that somehow the camel cart is very desirable.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a piece of this camel cart, including Vince Clortho, mechanic, who's got the strainer on top of his head with all the wires.
Yes, he does. I forgot about that. Old colander brow. So suddenly we hear the stomping, slurping mega steps of some powerful boots. And those boots are connected to the muscle-bound, oiled-up body of a man who's wearing a gigantic metal bulbous helmet, much like the Big Daddy or Mr. Bubbles from BioShock 1 and 2. And sitting in a little ad hoc papoose atop the back of this monstrous man is a little guy. He's a wee Australian man.
It's an apocalypse Bjorn.
Yes. Who calls himself Master, and together they make up the power couple Master Blaster.
And Master he understands how the power plant works. He's a genius. He is not a master of English so much.
No. He's been called the brains of the operation, and yet his speech is worse than Yoda's.
It is.
He's like caveman light. And okay, so I could see how children in the world of Mad Max have their language disintegrate, especially if they grow up without any adults from the old world. But this guy's he's a pretty old dude. He's got silver hair. He's got wrinkles.
He lived the majority of his life before things got bad.
Yeah. Maybe
He
he's
paid a
just,
lot of taxes.
maybe he's just so energy efficient. He's like, I'm gonna say the fewest possible words to these cretins, because I don't want to spend any of my precious glucose on them.
I I try to imagine him in the before times.
Yeah, working at Best Buy.
Hamburger, me have coupon, lower price.
So, anyway, this Richard Dreyfuss just like looks scathingly down at the poor quality mechanic. You defuse dynamite, he says. I can't, boss. I don't know how. I don't know how dynamite works.
My fear of you is enough to get me to attempt to do so, but I have to, full disclosure, let you know we are all very likely going to die from the attempt.
Hey. Mad Max says, jumping up, trying to tap Master on the shoulder. But, you know, Blaster's like 6 feet tall, so Master's shoulder is like 8 foot in the air. Hey, I could tell you how to defuse that trap, because it's my car, you motherfucker. What did you call me? Says the small man. And suddenly, without prompting, the blaster component of Master Blaster grabs Max around the neck and hoists him in the air, Darth Vader style.
Blaster emits a belch of contempt.
A small jet of flame comes out. You fix. No deal, you fix.
I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think that I don't think you're in charge of anything. I'd like to call into question your authority right now.
Oh. Master, feeling really put out, checks his logbook and sees that technically, according to the minutes, when challenged, he needs to prove his might. All right. He puts Max down. Embargo, everyone. Everyone embargo. And of course, these, like, apocalypse mutant derelict people know exactly what the word embargo means.
Yeah, pronouns out the window. Who needs them? But embargo.
Mm-hmm. So, Master Blaster strides over to a big wheel connected to a mystery pipe and spins that wheel as Blaster's strong, blasculine hands begin to turn clockwise. All of the electrical energy in Bartertown above starts to winkin', blinkin', and nod out of existence.
Mostly captured by the sound of a...
Oh no. All the freaks tasering their own assholes are suddenly out of juice. What the fuck?
That was so close. So I was almost there.
Why would I even have my bachelor party in Bartertown if they ain't got the tasers? We hear the telltale communication noise of the still perfectly functioning intercom system, as Tina Turner rolls down the river through the power of the Sprecht tubes, and she opens hailing frequencies to Master in the underworld.
God damn it, Ike. Why on earth Master? What's the problem?
Master mad. Master feel impotent.
We've had this discussion. I don't know what to tell you about that. I'm not coming down to your kingdom of pig shit.
You tell everyone who run Bartertown.
Fine, you run Bartertown. Can we move on?
Good, but Master not really feeling it. Really play the action.
Just don't play this over the loudspeakers. Master Blaster runs Bartertown.
Out. It is projected. Like, instantly, Master Blaster somehow managed to make that sound project over all of the loudspeakers in Bartertown. In spite of the lack of electrical energy, maybe there's
He,
battery reserves?
by pure will alone. Well, he's master. He probably wired that on a separate circuit than the general circuit because he's so smart. Me wire separate. Me keep continuous flow of communication while affecting overall energy production.
This is a hoodwink worthy of Alfred Pennyworth from Batman Returns when he records the Penguin saying mean things and plays it at Penguin's mayoral speech.
Ooh.
And then scratches a CD like a DJ. Even though that's not how CDs work. You had to be there. 90s kids will understand.
Technically, it's not how justice works either, but here we are.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, Tina Turner's been made to look poorly in the eyes of her community.
She got demasculated.
She loses 2 charisma points.
Womp womp. Thus underlying her need to remove the problem.
Anyway, where were we? Master looks down and sees that Blaster is still holding Max by the neck. Max is turning blue. Oh yeah! Disarm car!
He's just been walking around through his power plant for 10 minutes. Meanwhile, Blaster's just arms locked straight out, just dragging Mad Max everywhere.
Mad Max's head has swollen to balloon-like proportions. I'll do it. He drops Max, who gasps for air in that Mel Gibson, really love to act the pain style acting that that really came into fruition in Braveheart. Max takes out his little key fob and turns off the trademark Mad Max explosive booby trap that he likes to attach to all of his vehicles. But unfortunately for old Blaster, it sets off a crazy car alarm. Woot, 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 woot.
Powered by Viper. Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop, boop.
Oh no. Blaster, who, by the way, whose head is encased in a fucking steel dome. I mean, okay, metal is more dense than air, so sound travels better through metal, but it is one more level of barrier between the sound waves and his ears.
But God doesn't make someone freakishly strong without giving them a perfect foible. That's part of God's plan.
That's
the
true.
foible.
So, turns out Blaster doesn't like high-pitched noises. He clutches at his metal helmet, to no avail, of course, knocking his smart guy passenger off of his shoulders. Blah! Blaster Frankensteinianly groans and grumbles, clutching his head. Max turns off the car alarm and with a practiced eye watches Blaster as he gives a couple of toots through the old bosun's whistle. I knew this would come in handy, he says to himself. Toot.
And once again, Blaster flips out. He's right back to Buckin' Bronco Blaster. Mm-hmm. He's flipping out, and Max really soaks in this moment. He's really having fun with this whistle because he only need 2 toots for a proof of concept, but he's like Jethro Tull, just having himself a time. And Blaster's losing his shit.
That's right. It takes a team of 10 trained hospitality pigs to come and soothe Blaster enough with their gentle oinks to finally snap him out of it and pull Master up from the shit prison that he's been encased in.
Master is like in a cartoon with his feet straight up, just head down in shiz, and just gets pulled out wetly. And the thing that I enjoyed, he's not mad at Blaster. Like, this happens. If you're gonna ride a Blaster, you gotta know that he's gonna get spooked sometimes.
Yeah.
And to his credit, Master is pretty cool about it. He just saddles back up and goes right back about his day.
He's a nice guy.
In his own way. But
He tries.
Max has learned what he needs to know about his intended enemy, and he goes and talks to his union rep and clocks out for the rest of the day.
Woo! The pterodactyl blows some steam out. Yabba dabba doo! Max rides a slide of shit back to sweet, sweet Bartertown. Smash cut. Auntie's tower. Max returns to Auntie and says, I think I figured out Blaster's secret weakness, but how am I gonna get him alone so I can make noises at him and then stab him in the back? I just can't figure it out.
That's easy. Just try to live a quiet life here in Bartertown, and no one will let that happen. You'll instantly be drawn into a conflict.
Oh, okay.
And you know how we settle conflict here in Bartertown?
Barter, I'm guessing.
No. This movie isn't called Mad Max Beyond Bartertown.
They both look directly into the cameras.
And then they look down from the cameras, and they're looking over this gigantic dome from which a lot of sound is emanating.
It's a wrought iron geodesic dome / jungle gym that just Buckminster Fuller never completed into a modern housing unit.
It's a half buck.
Half buck, half play.
And it is all Thunderdome.
Except there's no thunder involved.
And it's
not actually a dome.
But,
I mean, it's missing several components. It's more
yeah.
a lattice that could be a dome someday.
Yeah, it's a semi-geodesic half sphere.
Beyond non-thunder semi-geodesic hemisphere.
Only one guy who understood geometry survived the apocalypse, and he was murdered immediately upon not quite finishing his dome.
It's a shame, really. All right, I think I catch your drift. Oh, shit, me Australian's coming back.
Struth!
Smash cut 2, nighttime. Oh, if you thought the freaks came out to play in the day, well, you're right, but the night freaks come out to play at night Bartertown. There's people dancing with glow sticks, drinking Four Locos.
Yeah, everyone stops drinking irradiated water and starts drinking irradiated moonshine.
Woo! There's a child throwing up into the pouch of a kangaroo. USA, USA, says one helicopter pilot who has half of a face. Quiet, American Tony.
Oh, man.
And presiding over all of it is Master Blaster driving Mad Max's special camel carriage through the crowd like it's a fucking Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah, and Chief Mechanic Codpiece has turboed out. Once he freed up all that space from taking the explosives out, he's put an engine in this bad boy. This thing is a fully autonomous prairie schooner. Now, no camels needed.
Just a giant rubber band that they twist real hard. Anyway, Master Blaster's throwing out flowers to the crowd. He's saying hubba, 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 money, 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 who can you trust?
He's doing the Hulk Hogan one hand to his ear.
Can you smell what the Master's cooking? Suddenly, Mad Max steps boldly in front of the parade route. Hey, I want my vehicle back, he says, demanding satisfaction.
Not your vehicle. Master Blaster Prairie Schooner, now fully autonomous with rubber band engine.
I don't think autonomous means what I think you think it means.
Prairie Schooner answers for itself now.
Prairie Schooner does not want to become involved in the affairs of man.
Please leave Prairie Schooner out.
Now look what you've done. You've upset Prairie Schooner.
Prairie Schooner just wanted to relax tonight and let off some steam. Not looking for drama.
Blaster, using his trademark blaster move, grabs Max by the old neckioli. Now you have 3 human seconds to apologize, or we break your neck. 1, 2, chick 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 chick.
Oh, the Wezzes were waiting in the wings, and 100 fully armed Wezzes swarm the situation with a military precision that no Wez was ever individually capable of.
Yeah, Master looks around at this obvious sting operation. But all the rifles in town are leveled at him. Levied at him? Leveled at him.
Mm.
Fuck! Now, boys, let's not get ahead of ourselves. While you could instantly kill me and probably make Auntie very happy, we all know that there are laws here in Bartertown. Master looks up to the high-hide and sees the shadow of the sexy and powerful Tina Turner.
So sexy. So powerful.
In her chainmail bikini onesie. Master Blaster, I see there's been an infraction, and of course, you must solve it in the Thunderdome.
Prairie Wagon is not a part of this, and would seek to they're just riding on Prairie Wagon. Prairie Wagon has no dog in this fight.
Of course not. You're a pillar of the community, Prairie Wagon. Go enjoy yourself some Gatorade and orange slices.
Good game, everybody.
Gonna go read A Tale of Two Cities. Fine. Blaster will meet you in the Thunderdome for death combat, says Master. I'm not getting involved. Wait, what? Says Blaster.
He always does this every Friday night.
Friday night's all right for fighting. Smash cut to the Thunderdome. Thunder!
and like the Apocalypse Reverend Leroy Jenkins is in the center of the ring.
Love it. A tall, thin, raven-like Englishman stands in the center of the Thunderdome and once again delivers his bullshit Shakespearean prologue.
I am Deckard Cain, and many ages of the Herodrum have passed since we gathered here in Thunderdome.
In times gone past, man waged war against man with machines, and that was the cause of the big badness. But now, we survivors manage our problems through civil discourse and deadly combat. He rips off his feathered overcoat and has a leather bikini underneath. Now let's get it hot and wild. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Who's hard for Thunderdome?
The Thunderdoms come out and start whipping the Thunder subs in a free show ritual. Everybody's pants down. All of the mutants and Nerf boys climb up on the rusted metal structure that is the playground of hell. You know, I mean, I know this is intentional, but it's just weird that the Thunderdome is completely, like, wallpapered by human bodies on the outside who have just climbed it to look in. Like, you'd think some sort of seating would have been created so they could watch it in comfort.
Yeah, and not even anti-entity is, like, afforded some sort, like, lofty perch from the sky high. That would be the one place where you'd have a good seat, but no. She has to, like, ride the zipline cycle down. And, like, the president's box is, like, 4 feet off the ground, if that.
Yeah.
Like, it's right, like, I'm just saying, you're gonna catch a spear. Like, Any of the weapons that are available are a threat to all.
Well, that's why she's got the chainmail fishnets.
I guess maybe her predecessor didn't wear a chainmail dress.
Mithril. Yeah, so, okay. The David Lynchian announcer announces Blaster Sans Master, who stumbles in, by the way, without Master to steer him. I don't think Blaster can see out of the helmet. The
No,
helmet appears to be completely just a steel diver's bell.
I think there's a lot of mesh, but not enough mesh. Not enough that it matters. He would at least, I'm saying he has 20% of a normal vision in total.
I choose to believe, because of his super sensitive hearing, he perceives the world through sonar and echolocation.
I would like that if there was more chirping from him.
Like clicking?
Yeah. And Thunderdome is a nightmare for him. Everyone's screaming.
Mm-hmm.
But he is he's as at home in Thunderdome as he is in a giant 70-gallon drum of pig shit. He
Not shit,
couldn't
energy.
he could not be happier. He's got his own, if Master hadn't already taken his Hulk Hogan hand to ear move, he's got all of his own things for the crowd, and they are ecstatic that they get to watch this gigantic half tank, half man just pummel some sack of Jalouse.
Yeah. Nice. Drink for Jalouse references.
It is my single favorite word that you have ever uttered, Mark, and it goes through my head on an almost daily basis.
Oh, thank you. You may enjoy Pan's Labyrinth Part 2, which I muffed with Grant Howitt, which is coming out very soon. Not for you, listener. Came out 2 years ago. But since Pan's Labyrinth is such a bloody movie, we decided to literally nerf it and replace all the guns with Nerf weapons. And there's just mentions of like Gunzookas and Nickelodeon Gak and Floam. And all of that fun, ridiculous nonsense from childhood.
Oh, I'll listen to the hell out of that.
Drink some Jalouse.
Oh, sweet Jalouse.
Play with some Floam and just taser your own asshole. It'd be just like your bachelor party.
Oh, good times.
Good times. Anyway, Blaster's doing the air guitar with his left leg, like hopping across the arena.
Power slides up to Anti-Entity. She throws him like a flower that he's supposed to catch in his mouth, but it just limply bounces off his steel dome.
And in this corner, I don't know, some fucking no-name piece of shit.
Over the screaming of the crowd, he can't hear Auntie screaming, "Raggedy Man! Call him Raggedy Man! It's a thing I did!" But he can't hear her, and the moment passes.
The action figure's gonna need some sort of name on the box. I wonder if Mad Max action figures exist. They must for Fury Road, right?
I don't know. You know what?
Like, there's a Heath Ledger Dark Knight action figure, and that's shouldn't be an action figure. That must be Fury Road models.
That's the hard thing about living in the year of our Lord 2022, because like you say action figures and I'm like, oh yeah, did they make toys when this movie came out? Like, I mean, they made action figures for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, you know?
Yes.
Like, so, and this seems like something that would make sense to have like a lot of toys from. But nowadays there's like some company in like Germany that made like 100 Furiosa dolls. They're $700 each. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like, is that an action figure? I don't think so. Yeah. But I mean, technically it is. So I'm sure somebody is making Fury Road things, but I don't know if they ever made a line of toys.
Hey, listeners, if you can find some Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome action figures, go ahead and reach out to blasterpodcast@gmail.com. Send them to me.
We spent more time wondering than it would have taken to Google it, and we still haven't Googled it, and we're not gonna.
Not gonna happen. Anyway, so Max is just unceremoniously rolled into the arena, just like crusted in pig shit and glass fragments. Don't know where this glass came from. And it's time to get real violent. Max looks in his inventory and he sees not a weapon in the whole damn thing. Oh, fuck, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And then he looks above and notices that the crowd that's cheering him on also BYOW brought their own weapon to the party. People are just like dangling meat hooks and scimitars and like pipes with fireworks actively lit poking from their ends.
One guy's just got a big rat trap on the end of a stick, and it's just dying to go off.
It's
gonna catch you
with some really old expired Fig Newtons. It's a bludgeoning weapon, isn't it?
It's just all. One guy's just got one of those thin wooden yardsticks that just stings like hell. Mm-hmm. If you get hit with it, it's got one of those.
Prince Oberyn is standing out with his bullshit poison spear that he dances around with wushu style.
And while Mad Max is taking all this in, the grounds crew, the Thunderdome 6 are fitting him with his combat harness, which I don't know where they're getting the latex, but
yeah, they put Mad Max and Blaster, which is perhaps more impressive, into these stretchy wirework stunt spectacular diapers, which allow them to like bounce and swing from the rafters. They are suspended. Are they suspended above the ground?
Yeah.
Or can they kind of touch the ground?
They
must be able to touch it a little so they can bounce off.
While I was watching this, I was trying to suss out the rules, and it seems like it's just whatever the moment called for, because they can run around, but then when they leap, like they really stay in the air.
Yeah.
But for a while they float in the air, and that's a thing. So maybe there's like guys with ropes that are affecting this for fun.
Yeah, some stagehands. It's almost an homage to the inexplicable mechanic character of Road Warrior who can't use his legs and is just like craned around everywhere.
Yeah, there's an entire truck devoted to just moving him around.
Like there are wheels in Mad Max, there are chairs. You'd think the mechanic would figure it out. Nope,
but
I want to be
was beneath his station.
Crane.
Beneath his station.
I played Peter Pan and I'm not giving it up.
But you know what? In fairness to that guy, he was only 5 years. I mean, the nuclear apocalypse hadn't even happened yet, and he lived on a gas refinery, so they could just run these trucks forever. Like,
wait, what? In Road Warrior, a nuclear apocalypse had yet to happen?
Yeah, the nuclear apocalypse happens between the two movies.
What?
Yeah, it was just a societal breakdown.
Jesus Christ. So Mad Max and Road Warrior basically happened in present-day United States.
Yeah, because they just talk about, like, there was, like, the gas implosion, but yeah, the true nuclear stuff didn't happen till later.
Wow.
Yeah, it got worse.
Huh. You'd think, this being the third movie in the series that I'm satirizing, you'd think I would have caught on to that.
I was very confused. What put me down the path was the auto gyro captain, and if it was the same guy or not. And then I started reading more and more and more and more. So that's why I figured it out.
You went down the rabbit hole.
I did indeed.
Anyway, a fight ensues.
Yeah, they're loaded into the launch tubes like Battlestar Galactica Viper pilots.
Nice.
They are pointed at each other.
They drink their gummy berry juice, and they start bouncing. All of the Thunderdomes scramble to clear out of the way of these dangerous combatants as they reach up to the skies and grab their broken bottles and sideways hammers.
And the thing is that they reach for the edges of Thunderdome, but Thunderdome reaches for them because also welded to the inside are like murder spikes and stuff.
Right.
So
when it's theatrically appropriate, there are random spikes. As long as you're getting thrown towards the wall, there's going to be a spike there.
But yeah, it's there is a risk reward to launching yourself at the wall.
Mm-hmm. Thunderdome is really a thinking man's game.
It is 3D chess, but I also noticed, again, not fair, that clearly Blaster knows how Thunderdome works. He's got a whole bunch of moves worked out already, and Raggedy Man's just got to figure it out on the fly, literally.
Mel Gibson is getting beaten on from the feet and on.
And on.
Blaster's just jumping up and down on his back, which should cripple him.
Yeah,
but perhaps the elasticity of the diaper is making Blaster much lighter than he would be otherwise.
He puts Raggedy Man into like the classic bear hold and squeezes him until something audibly pops.
Mm-hmm.
And then Raggedy Man is just hanging limply for a few seconds, but then he's okay. He just needed a few seconds for his spleen to reform. And then, then he gets into some like Warner Brothers, Acme, Rubber Band Man, Leapsy, Jumpsy, and it's at this time that Max Rockatansky says, you know what? I've had 6 discs ruptured. I think my left leg is broken, and he is pounding my liver till it poops out of my butt. But now is the time to play a little tune on the bosun's whistle.
He pulls the bosun's whistle out of his boot, but suddenly one of the really super eager, scientifically minded audience members activates an electromagnet at that exact moment. Oh, fuck. Why did I splurge on the pure iron bosun's whistle instead of the aluminum one? The bosun's whistle is magnetically sucked out of Max's hand and into the magnetron device of the mutant Australian. Oh, didn't think this would come of this. He says, I was just trying to collect bottle caps. Oh,
crikey, that's a nice score there. Got myself a shiny new whistle.
Oi, there's no removing weapons from outside Thunderdome, says one of the Thunderdomes and stabs the science-minded Australian 17 times in the face. Ow! The bosun's whistle and electromagnet fall into the sand pit of combat, but it is 20 meters away from Max. You know, because we're in Australia.
Yeah. And now, meanwhile, the battle has raged further on. It's Quan Dao versus Chainsaw versus Harley Quinn Hammer Mallet.
Mm-hmm.
Harley Quinn Hammer Mallet versus just a bucket of bees. Somebody just had a bucket of bees and they're pissed.
These are the last honey-producing insects we know of because of the nukes, but it's worth it.
And the battle rages on. Max trying to find just a bare second to swoop down and grab his whistle, but there's no seconds to be had.
Max, says the voice of his dead police chief, clad in his Jedi robes. Max, use the Force. What?
That's just then the sizzling slap of an electric eel wielded like a bullwhip. Catches him right on the hiney cheek and brings him back into the moment.
Whoa. Max four-leggedly scrabbles across the sand like the Beast from, Unbreakable and Glass. Those M. Night Shyamalan superhero
or Tobias Funke.
Yeah, or Tobias Funke. And he's not going to blue himself. He's going to fucking blew that whistle like Jericho or whatever. Jacob. I don't know, Bible stuff. Yeah.
Oh, and like 2 daggers plunged into the outside, but not the ears because of the helmet of Blaster. Blaster's clutching at the sides of his helmet where ears should be.
And Max treats Blaster to the equivalent of a saxophone solo, but on a bosun's whistle.
he attaches the bosun's whistle to one of those like Billy Joel harmonica holders, and then starts running around looking for a weapon to capitalize on the weakness of Blaster.
Mm-hmm. Finally, he finds an old DVD copy of The Matrix and begins wailing on Blaster's hamstrings, pork strings, and I can't believe it's not turkey strings. Blaster.
All the commentary, all the director's cuts, hammering down relentlessly.
Wachowski. Blaster falls to his knees, and Max gives one final impeccable note, just like the end of that Phantom of the Opera song. And Blaster's fucking head explodes within his steel helmet, swelling it to grotesque proportions. Blaster collapses. No!
And when he collapses, there's the blood and gore flowing from the grates, but the gladiator arm cover comes off, and you see a single tattoo that said, "I am but a child who loves his adoptive father." And everyone realizes what they've done.
Oh no. Much like in Yoda's dark side cave on Dagobah, the metal mask explodes off of Blaster, and Max sees the ruined face of his child self. Oh my god.
He looks like my son Zonkers.
Oh yeah.
They got killed by cyclists.
Oh. Max has a deep moment of introspective horror, but suddenly his hand is grabbed up and held aloft by the Raven King. We have a winner, and it's the one that nobody wanted to win. Yay! All of the mutants are pissed off because they just lost a bunch of bets.
They start chanting, "Lose a bet, get his ass. Lose a bet, get his ass."
Wait a minute, Max says. I don't remember that in the rule book. Tina Turner looks sheepishly at her stone tablet of rules. Yeah, that's what it says. Break a bet, get real wet. So now on to Chapter 2 of the Thunderdome epic, You and the Wet Wheel.
You get a feel for the wheel when the feeling's real. Our ancient historian, Dr. Suez, laid down these laws.
That's right. Hey guys, I don't really want to be involved in this, says the autonomous camel schooner. And it slowly creeps out of Bartertown as tiptoe as a tire can go.
grabs a bottle of irradiated vodka and just starts to make its way to its garage.
No, wait a minute. I'm gonna need a new conveyance. Master Blaster hits his key fob, protected by Viper, and unfortunately the autonomous schooner is not that autonomous. It is frozen in its tracks, forced to watch what happens next to Mad Max. Fury Victory.
Everyone still attached bodily to the exterior of Thunderdome whistles and hoots as the wheel of justice is brought in. Make a sin, catch a spin. Make a sin, catch a spin.
Cop a feel, spin the wheel. This is a guy feeling his own tits. Seems okay. Max looks on disbelievingly as a gigantic rusted wheel that has shit stamped in it like Auntie's Choice, lose a limb, instant death, spin again, like just
reverse French kiss,
over the clothes, like just where do they get this shit?
Heaviest petting.
Stuck in Jumanji. Sarlacc pit. Reverse Sarlacc pit.
Old milk slog.
Oh, milk slog, bam, a lamb. All right, I'll spin this fucking wheel. Mad Max.
And one of them's just labeled Kit Fisto as a little nod to the Star Wars fans.
Oh no.
It's not a Jedi, guys.
Max places his hands upon the wheel. The tit squeezer sheepishly backs out of Thunderdome. Maybe next time. Max spins for all he's worth. And no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. He sees banishment. Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty much where I started.
And I'd like to thank you, Mark, for just cleaning up that weird thing where it said gulag, which apparently no one knows what that word means.
There is no gulag in
No.
this movie.
Yeah.
The closest thing is the underworld, which he's not going back to.
Gulag. Oh, do you just mean employment?
It's true.
Yeah, so banishment it is, but with some whimsy. They had a big Mardi Gras party just like a month ago, and
Banishment Plus, now available on all streaming services. Smash cut to the banishment morning. Max Rakutinsky is tied bodily to a horse, the only horse in the movie.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are they getting these barnyard animals, which are completely healthy?
Yeah, and wasting them.
Yes, as we will see.
This is not an effective or smart use. I mean, it would have made more sense if they put them on a camel. Yeah. I know they've got like 6 of those laying around that they didn't have budgeted for. This is 6 free camels.
They've got surplus camels, and they're priced to move. They put him on the horse backwards with his hands tied. Then they put on top of his head some giant, like, I don't know, drive-through fast food restaurant big boy head.
It seemed to me like a Brazil head. It's like a Brazilian carnival kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, it's a giant hollow sculpted
fiberglass head.
Yeah. I guess it's supposed to make him more uncomfortable or make it so it's harder for him to escape the running of the horse. But it seems just ridiculous.
And it also seems pretty easy to shake off.
Yeah, it's so big.
All I have to say is we have some notes about justice in Bartertown.
Yes. Max, or whatever your name is, I never caught it. I, the leading lady of Bartertown, sentence you to death by the gulag, which no one here speaks Russian, so we assume that means exposure in the desert. And you're going away in style on Black Beauty, the horse that saved so many World War II soldiers. Or was that proletariat secretary? I don't fucking know. Go!
Just get the hell out of here! Quit making me think!
I don't think boss knows about famous horses. Shut up, you. They slapped that horse on the ass, and Max is horsed into the tough desert. Boy, this is a real trial and tribulation for old Max, who has proved that he can walk through that desert just fine. Now he's riding in style on a horse with a nice, shady mascot head on him. But they don't know that, because they're soft Bartertown folk.
What they can't hear because of the mask is how much he's chuckling to himself, that he's literally riding through the desert on a horse with no name. Oh, if only they could hear how much fun he's having.
It's the only song I learned in Guitar 1. Pretty easy to play. Anyway, smash cut!